All right. It's Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. I'm going to go with Wednesday. I'm not sure what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. Okay, so let me get this off the screen. Here is today's page that I posted. I didn't do the one that I started scribbling yesterday, just because I got so caught up doing things. But that's all right. That's all right. The world turns. I've got a bunch of stuff in process right now, and I've been going through my notes and getting projects done, and all good feelings. So, you know, when you can get the process moving merrily along, it's always nice because it just sort of lets you, get some sense of direction that, you feel solid about. So that's always good, right? So I thought today what I would do would be to let's just have fun. Sometimes when you sit down and you start with this obligation of this is what I have to complete today, it sort of strips the fun out of it. And nobody wants to strip the fun out of things. Okay, that's not true. There are people that want to strip the fun out of things. You can't help those people. All right. So, I've got paper on the surface laid out. I'm going to switcherooski the paper, and let's get a stronger, more durable papier up here so that we can have a little more rigorous fun. I got this great debate going on in my head about what size I'm going to work at today. I think I just solved it. So, getting a nice little cardstock up. I've been working on this sort of light vellum paper too much lately. And you start to get a little bit hesitant when, you're going to mar the surface if you're too vigorous, if you're too aggressive with whatever the medium are that you're using. And so sometimes I can really hold people back. And what's the fun of that? Nobody enjoys that. All right, so, okay, just checking my messages, and it's telling me I'm right here with you. Hey, groovy. All right, I've got some paper laid on the surface. Today's page is titled Tickle Torture. It is drawn in colored pencil, and then it's scanned, put it in the computer. The pencil line art, which I don't know is pink or purple or something, who knows. It's turned into black line art, and then I just color it digitally and put the text on. And I don't say the word torture in the piece because, I don't know that it needs to be so explicit, but I do imply that, they're looking at somebody who's being questioned vigorously, and so the last resort that they come up with is to tickle him. So there you go. I have no idea what the beeping is in my studio right now. I'm not interested in looking it up. Okay, so I've got some paper laid out. I'm going to get the camera switched over now. I've been having a lot of fun doing drawing in pencil and then transferring it over to black line art digitally, and then seeing what comes from that. But something I talked about yesterday, I thought we'd play with that a little bit more today. I showed a whole bunch of these random scribbled things that I've been doing on cardstock, on different kinds of surfaces, and and I'm really enjoying, I don't know if I even showed that one. I'm really enjoying doing these, but I want to do more, and I'll show you how I go about it so that, I don't know, if people find that interesting, they can give it a try themselves. So I've got my sketchbook here, and one of the things I showed recently is all of these sketches that I've done of Star Wars characters. So why don't I use this reference that I've already put together, and we'll just go straight on with the a marker, Sharpie. I'm sorry, and just draw right on with Sharpie, and then go over top of that. This is a random piece of cardstock that I've had for a number of years. That excuse me. Where did I leave those? I left those over there. Sorry, right back. I got my clips over here and I forgot to bring them over. I'm like, here, you'll use those today. And what did I do? I left them over there. So, oh, look at the magic that's happening in front of you. In front of your very eyes. There we go. Look at that. My goodness, people might start to think I know what I'm doing. So, here we go. I've got this sketched out image of Jabba the Hutt, and so the whole point of drawing with the Sharpies really was a case of just, and drawing with these markers, really was a case of just letting go of the preciousness, not worrying too much about marks made, and you know, allowing the mistakes. Who cares? Mistakes are mistakes. We all live with them. So I'm going to just start roughing him in. Now, because I've already drawn this, I have an idea of the marks that I want to make here. But at the same time, it's a different marker. It's a different drawing tool that I'm using. And how tight and rigid I'm going to be about these marks that I've made, I don't know. We'll see. But I get the gist of what it is that I'm drawing. And so there's something fun in already having it all laid out. Is this, I think it's working. Okay. I haven't been announcing what I'm doing or when I'm doing things. Just because I'm just getting back to streaming right now. And I don't have a rigid timetable set up. So I'm not overly concerned about, you know, holding on to a tight schedule at the moment. I'll get there. Just it makes it easier for people to come and see and hang out. But until then. So this is really sort of thick and pasty, the way that these marks are going down. Again, the beeping, I have no idea. Feeling a little better today. Getting all kinds of stuff done in the house. You know, mopping. All those things that make people go, wow, that guy's cool. Mopped his house this morning, huh? Pretty awesome. What's it like being a rebel? So I know that because I'm not doing this on a consistent basis now, the algorithm machine monsters that the two both use is going to sort of promote or advocate what I'm doing. And that's fine. Not too worried about it. So this first one I'm scribbling is a Jabba, but the thing with it is that putting it down in a heavy marker is the result is whatever the result is. And I think it's rough and not as compelling as some of the lighter marks, but I'm doing it with this tool because I know that you can paint over Sharpie. So I'm not overly sure about some of the other pens I have, like these new Hema pens. I think that they bleed out a little bit, which has its benefits in some ways, but, you know, for what I want to do here, just playing with mixed media and stuff, I don't want the bleeding. I'll have no bleeding around here, I'll tell you that. Anyways, so I'll move Jabba over there. Okay, so I'm just putting in this character, and then we'll get adding some other medium on top of it. Now I like Poscas for going over top of your own static art, because there's a sort of liberation with Postgres because it is. I don't know what that is. Again, I'm sorry. All right, let's go. Excuse me a second. There we go. Is that better? I think that's better. All right. So now I'm just drawing in his big old yapper. This character is disgusting. It really is. But when you talk about like a really good design that's sort of representative of what the character's intention is to portray in a story, this one really works. I have no idea what that is. Yeah. So I have to come in and put in some of those details with the other tools that I'm going to use. Yeah, I'm not figuring this. So let's see. It's just, I'm not even done drawing it yet, and I'm already like jumping over into something else. Funny, the little corrections you make when you've already got an existing layout in a drawing, but then when you come in with the second mark making tool or something like that, I often find that I'm making corrections as I go, changing some of the things that I didn't like how they went down the first time. There's, I don't know. There's a forgiveness in that, I think, that allows you to don't worry so much. Don't be so precious about what it is that you're drawing, what it is that you're putting down. It's really supposed to be menacing. I'm not feeling menacing yet. We'll get there. We're working on it. I've got these. I picked these up. I'll show you these. These are paint markers that I picked up at a dollar store here in Canada, which is like a nickel in other countries. But I thought I would come in, start adding in some of these other values. Got some greens and stuff like that too that I may want to put in. Because this character is disgusting. And if I can start to get across some of that disgustingness, we'll see. I don't have any photo reference around me or anything like that, so we're just going by the seat of our pants. Let's see how it goes. Excuse me. Some of these colors together are less than desirable. It makes this is sort of putrescence to the character, that these tones are within the pallor of the skin. We just sort of associate that with, toads and bugs and or slugs. I'm sorry, and just sort of creatures like that. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to add a couple different things on top of each other. But what I'm trying to find as I'm doing this is a greater sense of volume in this character than I think the original line art I wasn't finding it. So maybe this will help us. This uneven nose. So the green is very prominent right now. but it's going to pull back a little bit, I think. With the, we're going to lay on some yellows and things like that. So trying to get this to stay up, not helping. Okay, give me a sec. Just have to check if I'm even remotely close on his colors here, and I don't know if I am or not. All right, so let's come in here now with, we've got this putrescence in here, but let's come in. Put some of these yellows and stuff in there. Push those values around a little bit. This is one of the funniest characters to hear people do impressions of. It's a really hard thing to be cool doing this guy's voice. All right, I've got a yellow. I have a tan someplace. Give me a sec. Yeah, got one over here. A lot of tan colors in this kid. This crazy cat. All right, so let's see what we got here. So having these colors under the surface peeking through is going to make it kind of a little more interesting in here. You can see already how it just changes the entire dynamic of the face. We'll come in with some white as well. But I like having some of these colors peek through. There you can see how that's changing that. You know, some people, they're good when they get their picture taken. Other people, not so much. These guys are not so much. Sorry. Stupid clip. Okay. We'll get that red in the eyes. The menace of that red is pretty huge. Come back in with some blacks, put some of those black lines in as well. Yeah, see, I like how that green peeks through now. I wasn't entirely sure. Imagine having to go and chat it up with this guy. Now, I'm sure in the context of this existing universe, this wouldn't be, I mean, it would be awkward, but it wouldn't be as abnormal as it might feel for us here in the real world. But can you imagine having to be confronted by this and have a conversation with it? Ugh. So I'll put the other nostril in here now. Come in with some of that, those reds and those oranges as well. It's got kind of a lazy eye, eh? All right. Let's push that black intensity in there a little bit more. Double up on that. All right. Pizza the Hut. It's hard to imagine that kind of big sluggo, creepo guy is figured, and it's because of all the people he's got around him, I would think, but I don't know. I don't know how fast these things move. You gotta hope it's somewhat quick, right? You just hear him, "Hey, give me a sandwich." I don't know what these guys say. So I'm trying to do a bunch of these little silly things just because it's something I've never really done, and I have a bunch of these kicking around at the tables and stuff like that, as I know people like this junk. So I'm going to put far more of these lines. Texture lines in his face. We got to put more lighter value in this side as well, I realize, but trying to give shape and form to something that's kind of globular is a challenge in and of itself, right? Alright, so I'm going to put some, I'm going to start to develop up some of this area with this tan value. Should really put some more green and stuff in here as well. I should have done what I was doing with all these other Star Wars illustrations, and that is trying to find the silliest moment of this character and then doing that. Like, he's either getting, you know, the lady's choking him or whatever on the at his gross party, or having him where he gets his tail stepped on in this bad deleted scene that was originally in the first movie. Those would be funnier. We'll see. Maybe I'll do those as yet. Because I really haven't done much with this. Suppose I should put more of them in here. So I need to darken out. I think that this might help, is that if I do this, put a little bit of these darker values, give a bigger sense of menacing and dread to the character. That might help a little bit. I believe this portrait is him saying, "Hey, does anybody want a sandwich?" All right. So I put some of this light blue and stuff in the background. We'll come back in and differentiate the two sections from one another. I don't know if he looks corpulent enough. Maybe that's a challenge. See, I think my thing keeps cutting out. Hopefully it's not. Hey, we'll leave these numbers in. Why not? There's. There we go. A little bit on the other side as well. Yeah, I think I need to push his form out a little bit more over there. It'll make more sense, I think. He's a big guy. All right. With that brown. Yeah, well, we got a good start on him. But like I said, I think he needs to be. Some of the challenges, whether or not he's more corpulent, which I think he should be. See, that makes a little more sense. Have his form stick out just a little bit more, right? A little more density to him. Yeah, there's plenty of yellow. The green discoloration, it's not endearing. I don't think it's a sign of healthiness on his part. I have to wonder. Probably in the intent though, right? What am I looking for? Sharpie. Hi, Liz. So I'm drawing Yoda. Maybe it's not Yoda. There's an actor named, I can't remember his name, terrible. Bill Hader. And Bill Hader does an impression of this character that just cracks me up. It's very good. I need a way to do a lighter tan color in here. I think that would be really beneficial. Oh, see, that's even better. Trying to push the background back for from our character here. Dying markers. He's a perfect bad guy. Oh yeah, I thought so too. There we go. That's coming in. And then let's enhance the black in his yapper. It's often sometimes that you'll look for something when you're doing a drawing and you're like, what is it that's missing? And I think his mouth was too short. I think I was suffering from Jappus shortus mouthus. We're getting there now. See, that's better. See, the eye needed a little more. And then we'll come in with that tan value as well. I think we might got him here at this point. I think I got to do more lines underneath his eyes. More brown, that's what it is. We have more brown? We have more brown. You get to use all your neat new colors. That's kind of what I wanted to do, was play with these a little bit today. Yeah, see, that's better. Put that brown in and then we'll get a score over top. Yeah, so this is a $5 set of paint markers from a dollar store nearby, and you know, a lot of people always talk about, oh, and you need this kind of a thing and that kind of a thing, and you got to spend all this money on these tools. And I've never been an adherent to that principle. I'm a firm believer in it's not so much the tools as what you do with them. And there's a great deal of exploration that we can do using simple tools and inexpensive tools. So never be afraid to just buy random things at a shop like that and try them out. What about light fastness? What about, you know, for them, how long can they last, and what's their artistic longevity? If you're not exhibiting in the gallery circuit or you know, doing high expense portraits for people and things like that, let it go. That is never going to be a factor for you. And it's okay to just, we have this belief that everything has to be prepared to last the long march of history, and 99.9% of artists that are producing works are not amongst that list. It's a very biased system that really, it's who you know. It's that you want to get established as this identifiable name to be there in the annals of history as one of these phenomenal artists. That's what it takes. Big crazy earthquake yesterday and a tsunami alerts all over the world. Oh wow! Was it could it have been a impact of some kind? Usually when large objects from beyond the earth land, they cause earthquakes and tsunamis like that. But if they're hitting out in the ocean and stuff like that, you know, we usually find out after the fact that that's what happened. Yeah, hopefully I've made some sense of this guy. Looks like him. Yeah, a lot of this needs work. Hey, you're over there, go get me a pizza. That's what he's saying. Anybody got any Hot Pockets? Yeah. That's a quote from the film. I don't think so. Hey, who wants some Hot Pockets? I like the scene where, it takes place at his palace and he says, hey, Han, come on over here and listen to my Tony Bennett albums. I'm pretty sure that's a scene in Star Wars. Uh-oh, you bit your nails again, am I wrong? Oh, yeah, I did, I ripped them all off. I got carried away. I'm trimming them, and then before you know it, just, there they go. I'll stop doing it. Just did it yesterday. Okay, I think we've made a dent in this bad boy. It's, yeah. Yeah, I think we should just leave this be for now, and maybe I'll come back and figure out some more what's missing here. But for the time being, I think that this guy's looks all right. Hey, who wants to come to my house? Try my new exotic cheese dip. I don't know what he says. This notices everything. Okay, so there's our Jabba. There's our little exploration into that character from our initial sketch. So let's throw him on the pile. What's next? Who else on this page? Is there anybody else on here that we want to try? Maybe this guy. I'm going to do something different with this one. I'm going to just draw with the paint marker. Let me switch my setup here a little bit and move this up. So this guy is who we're after now. And so what I'm going to do is just draw him in. And I'm going to use the blue as our dark value, so that as I'm putting these marks in, I'm leaving out the marks that the dark blue would be, the black line art, right? Right. So I'm trying to be conscious of which marks I put down and where. But often drawing this way informs you a great deal about mark making. It makes you consider spaces. What's beeping? Stop beeping at me. It informs you about the space in your compositions. It makes you think a little more clearly about your marks that you put down. Right now that looks just like nonsense. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This eye will probably give it away a little bit more. Yeah. Huh. Ah. See a mistake I made there. I made a big boo-boo. That's why my friends call me Yogi. Where are we at? Hey, Linda, welcome aboard. How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Tim? Tighten that up in a minute. Yeah, I like drawing the monsters in Star Wars, the aliens. I think there's some really interesting and compelling shapes and considerations that have been made into the design of these characters. I mean, this guy looks like this grizzled, menacing, giant, beefy monster, and the truth is he's like 3 feet tall. And, you know, he looks like, you know, when you look at him up close, you're like, oh boy. Scale is everything, right? He's still, I think, a dangerous guy, but then he blows up something. But just that initially, it's like they design a monster to be like a big ogre, and then they make him diminutive, which is just fantastic. He's got that big protruding grumpy lip down there at the bottom. It's great. Where are we at? I accidentally took a short nap. That's why I'm late. Oh, nothing wrong with a short nap. I wanted to come in this morning, but I've got some friends coming over for dinner, and I want to do my mopping and stuff like that. So, hurry up the house, you know. I'm being kind of really loosey-goosey here with my coloring in of areas because we're going to add more. I'm going to add more value and marks to this guy. Just thought I'd start off with coming at him this way. I don't know what colors this guy is either. I think he's very light. Just give me a sec, I'm so sorry. Just going to look up Star Wars aliens and see what that gives me. Does it show me any pictures of anybody? What's that got? Nothing. You got anybody? Okay, I think I got a little thumbnail of this guy. I'm not even close. Okay. I always say people with a clear conscience can sleep easy. Oh, there you go. I sleep terribly. What does that say? So this is this brown. They're suggest that these markers are metallic, but I don't really get it. I don't really feel like they're all that metallic here. They're a little, if anything, there's a little edging that happens with the surface and the pigment. So I don't know if that's their intention, that makes it metallic. Who knows? All right, so I'm just drawing in our guy. You can start to see some of that expression coming in now in the features, but he is a gnarly looking dude. He looks really intense, like he's asking you, hey, what's your favorite car? And when he answers, he says, wrong. This car. Anybody else that likes any other cars? Wrong. Does anybody know? I'm noticing some new symbols on things. Does anybody know what these numbers and crowns and things mean? Is that, what am I missing here? That's like, you guys got the dirt on me. I think that's what that means. Okay, so building them up. Sleep is so bad, few hours here and there, I knock myself out with sleeping meds. Yeah, I completely get that. I've always been like a 4 hour sleep guy a night, and it was when I got type 1 that the medication that they gave me started making me sleep like 6 hours a night and 7 hours a night. I'm lucky, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. It sort of leaves me a little bit discombobulated after. Let's try different colors in here. He's got some interesting values to him. So these are Artist Loft paint markers. They're kind of clunky, but they you know, you can get in there, get some colors down there, you know. Sometimes it ain't about being pretty. These I let my grandkids use these, I remember, and the tips are all just toast at this point, so I'm just trying to get whatever I can get out of them at this point, rather than just chucking them, because the bludgeon tips on them, they're good for an undervalue, but if you're looking for finished lines on top, you can see how clunky they are. He's a fun character. Who's contributing to the conversation? There are 3 levels. Oh, well, you guys are fantastic. I'm awake and doing stuff in the middle of the night. It was nice and cool. Oh, I don't blame you. I hear that. I've got the air going full tilt boogie in the house here. So if this is a lighter, again, this is a Craft Smart. I don't know where I got this, but it's a really inexpensive paint marker, but letting us get some of that undertone in there. And I have to add on top of it, of course, but starting to get a grumpy looking guy in here. Not doing much of anything? Nope. Oh, so what are people working on? Has anybody got any big projects that they're doing? I've got a bunch of events coming up. September is going to be a very busy time for me. Scheduling some classes, some teaching, and then our youngest daughter is getting married. So, you know, all of that busy jazz. Hey, who likes pizza? Yeah. A bit off screen there. Sorry. So this is a guy I'm doing. This is the the thing I'm trying to do. Sorry I bumped them off the screen there for a few. I'm trying to get them back in here. So I'm going to try to get some sharper marks in here now. I really want to get big chunks in of value. But now I'm going to start to tighten up some of this. So I like working from one scale to the next. So if I'm working dark to light or light to dark, I tend to want to follow that. But while I say that, I do skip back and forth between the two. Like I laid this out in a lighter value, then I came back in and chopped in all of these dark browns. Then I, building back to light again. It tends to, once you find a mechanism for what works for you, it tends to ease your process if you're not overthinking. I have to draw this stuff first, black lines, and then I go in there. Just allow the organicness of that, whichever way you're feeling in and of the moment. So this is covering up some of the lighter values that we put in, but it's also going to make some of those other ones work for us a little more. Hey, who likes pizza? What is my topic today? I watched some of your class on your video. That's pretty cool too. What's my topic today? Well, I just wanted to jam, just try out these markers and to just play with this mixed media application stuff. I've got some Sharpie here. I've got some other tools which I really haven't used much of, and just taking some of these sketches from my sketchbook of these Star Wars monsters and starting to do little illustrations of them. Emphasis points are fun. And what I mean by emphasis points are, I'm not drawing all of the lines in the face black. I'm just picking out some of those lines. And then even while doing that, it doesn't mean it's like a solid, clear line that moves around. There's pushing some of those values really far back with the dark color, like a black, really makes other things pop up more to the surface. So now I'm going to try to emphasize some of these areas even a little bit more. Try to add a little bit more dimension here. Yeah, see, I like this a lot more in here. Oh, nice. Excellent. That's fantastic news, Liz. Liz is going to bring journals in to her dentist tomorrow. That's good. Nice. It's nice when you get those sort of somebody reaching out to you saying, hey, you, I want your stuff. It's always a good feeling. Now we're starting to really get into the character here. Starting to really separate some of these crags and shapes in the face. That's fun. Wow. Yeah, there's a challenge in that. If you're working on something and you've got an objective in mind with that project, and Somebody sees it part way and goes, I want this. Oh, but it's for that. It's a good problem to have, though. Yeah. That eyebrow over there. Got that little bit of dead eye. What a fun character. Creepy as all get out. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm lasting today. I've still got to get work done on one of these jobs that I have, and honestly, I'm going to be honest with everybody. I'm playing hooky right now. I'm playing hooky. Let's try. Are you going to fit in here? No. No. What have I got? I only have a few tools in front of me. So I'm trying to limit myself from getting too crazy. Oh, over here. Yeah, you'll do. So I've got a brown pen here, and I'm going to put some finer little lines in here with the brown pen, and a little bit of emphasis on some of the crags. And so this is just a regular old ballpoint pen ink. But it's really good for putting in those marks, those underlines and things, those surface builders, but without wanting to go too deep with like a black color or something like that. So there you go. Now we're getting that expression down. Pardon me, have you got any brick gray poupon? Or whatever it is he's saying. Do you know the way to Santa Fe? I think that's what it is. I think that's what he's asking. Yeah. It's a creepy dude. Did they tell you what to make, or just say something big difference? Oh yeah, that's a good question. Do they have anything specific in mind that they want? Like a journal that's designed to look like a bar of soap. It's for journaling about my favorite soaps. People ask for weird things sometimes. I did a portrait of somebody who wanted me to change the features of the people that were in the portrait that he was commissioning for me to do. He wanted to change their features so much that by the end of it, I'm like, do you even like these people? Now put them in Batman and Robin costumes. It's a little bit crazy. You know what other characters are really great designs is Henson's work with Froud, Brian Froud, and the Dark Crystal. There's some great characters. This guy kind of reminds me of that. Yeah. A lot of white in this guy's head. That's why I'm just holding off on coloring any of that. Yeah, I think, yeah, this has been, we're having fun. So this is the second one we've done. There's our Java, from our Java image up above. And now we've got this angry little guy. That's why custom has to be way higher prices. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. And it's hard too, because people are like, hey, you creative type, just make me the thing that I want. I assign no value to creativity. You just do it, because I asked you, right? I live for it. That's what I live for. So now I'm getting in, starting to lay in that area that's going to be all hair. And then I'll probably, the majority of the top and sides of his head. Kind of silly drawing this with, paint markers when I can just be throwing down a flat base of white ink or white paint. Yeah, he's coming together pretty quick too. So here's the rest of that head that I started sliding my page over I was working on. I'm going to put his outfit and whatnot. I'll deal with that later. I'm just sort of scribbling down some character designs because I find them interesting, and it's helping me in a project that I'm working on. This is why I started drawing Star Wars Aliens, is that I'm working on a project that's set far distant future and mankind's amongst the stars, and I wanted to try to think about some of the possibilities of alien beings out in that world, and that don't just look like different colored people, regular old people. So that's where this has all come about. And it's a work in progress. There's going to be some more ones to do and so forth, but for the time being, this has been a fun exercise. I've got so many backlog pages that I need to post and get out that I'll do the Cowboy Chicken Little page. I'll get that done later on. I just I'm still trying to. I think I might try to catch up on posting a bunch of other things. But if people have suggestions for one-page stories, please, again, feel free to throw them at me. Put them in the comments on the video here or whatever social media posts I've done. And we'll get those. We'll get at them. All right, well, there's our couple guys. There's our furry face guy, and then there's our Java dude. And I think I better get back to work. Enough playing hooky from the jobs, and But I hope people found this interesting or whatever. These are just dollar store paint markers, and a couple of Poscas, but I mean these ones work just as well. I have there's a white in here as well as you can see the different colors here at the bottom of the screen that I could have implemented in here in addition to the Posca things. So there's a wide range of stuff you can do with the limited amount of mark making things. So very different and still cool. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a bunch of these random things, and just because they're interesting, and they teach us a lot about how colors go together to make up depth or dimension. So I don't know if anybody, you picked up anything there that you don't normally think about or whatever else, but yeah, try that. Try looking at a picture of something and just trying to replicate it. And if it's really weird and outside your normal wheelhouse, you might pick up on some stuff otherwise. Very nice. Liz now wants to rewatch Star Wars. Good stuff. Okay, everybody, that's about it for me for today. I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm going to try to keep popping in at 1 o'clock and make that my new time if not earlier. But for the time being, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks everybody. Thanks ladies for being in the chat. And if anybody's got any questions or anything like that, feel free to shoot them at me. But that's about it for me today. All right, everybody. Bye for now.